Hey guys, welcome to another live stream, and in this week's live stream we are going to cover mobile app design. This is not going to be your typical productive workflow, so to say. So we're not going to do any detailed research, we're not going to do personas, we're not going to design brief. This is just so we can have some fun, we can explore some possible layouts and details. And in today's video we're going to do just that. We're going to do exploration on Dribble, and we are going to then do some paper wireframes and simply explore a couple of layouts here and there. And then in the next week's live stream, hopefully we are going to then move those paper wireframes into Adobe Xd, and then from there we're going to add images, colors, and all sorts of other things. Let me check the chat real quick. And before I move on, I just want to welcome all of my Behance audience to this live stream. If you don't know me, hi there, my name is Alex. I run a YouTube channel, and you know me from this Web Donut profile here on Behance. WebDonut is my company, and we used it to create all of these amazing design products that thousands of designers use every single day in their workflow. So because Behance enabled me this live stream option as of recently, I like to use it to share this valuable content to you guys as well, because my products are genuinely made for UI UX designers and marketers for that matter. So once again, let me quickly check on the chat. Okay, no questions as of yet. So let's get started, and let's get started with exploring. What I have right here is my Dribble page, and what I want to do just to get us started is simply explore a few layouts here and there. Let me just remove this real quickly. And if you haven't, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I upload new videos every single week about Adobe Xd, passive income techniques, design, and much more. So if you enjoy content like that, make sure to check it out. I will leave the links in a chat a little bit later, because I didn't have the time to put them in now, so I will do that later. But once again, you can check it out, Alex on Design. Simply type it in on YouTube. So what we have right here, as I said, is I simply went in and typed in shoe for my inspiration purposes. And as I said, this is just going to be a creative exploration of ideas and layouts and of sorts like that. So we're not going to do detailed research, persona research and stuff like that. We're going to leave that for a future live stream. So what I want to concentrate here real quick is simply a layout of these mobile apps. So if I jump in right here, let me check if I'm covering it. No. So layout is quite simple. What I want to achieve with this design is to show the product in question, so the shoe in this case. And I also want to show all of these additional details. So just pay attention to those when you are buying the shoe, for example. So let's say what color is it available and which sizes are available, and of course the price. Perhaps there is a discount on that price. We're going to do that when we get to the design stages, but for now we're just going to focus on paper wireframe. And as you can see, we have the nice big image of a shoe, which is this one right here, and we have a basic description, we have rating right here, which is a nice touch, and we also have the size, but we don't have a color, as I can notice right here. So perhaps they don't offer other colors, but I think that should be included inside. Let's quickly check out this one. So we have the brands right here. So we're going to do this search page for all of these additional models. So they have basically two of these. So when they click the Reebok right here, then they can explore these, and they can filter by gender, which is a nice touch. And we have price, color, and size, which I really like this layout. Let's move on to this one and see that. So quite similar to the other one, but they do have colors, which I think is a great addition. Let's explore, I don't know, this one, for example. I like this cart illustration, looks good. So let's see, cart, joyride, all looks nice. Let me quickly check on my chat. So let's explore a little bit more. So let's go with this one. Yeah, we have a lot of different layouts right here. So this is the kind of thing I want to achieve with our design. So just a bunch of these options that we can explore and include them in our paper wireframe and later in our design. Let's check this one out. So what I'm noticing so far is we usually have prices, we have titles of our products, obviously, and we have colors in some cases. And here on top of the navigation, we have the search, cart, and menu, which I quite like. Let's check this one, which is the animation. So I think this looks good. So just a basic. Yeah, I like how this is structured with additional images of the same shoe. So perhaps additional angles. Maybe you want to see how the shoe looks like from the front, from the side, top, bottom. I really like that. And I like the price, which is bigger right here. And let's explore a few more. Let's check this one out. Okay, so once again, all of these elements, I think these ones are too simple for my choice and for my liking. So I like how this is structured, so you can click photos, colors, sizes, and comments. But what I would do, I would simply scroll down and make this picture of a shoe sticky, for example, on the top, and then simply leave it there. I think that would be a good option to have. But once again, I think this is all quite well. So now that we quickly explore these, what you can notice is we have all of these repeating patterns happening right here. So we have how the shoe looks like. In majority of these cases, like in this one, for example, we have the 360, and I'm noticing that quite regularly here. So we have how the shoe looks like, possible colors, sizes, and the different angles of a shoe. And on this home page, for example, what I would include right here is different shoes in a grid, because I think it would be a easier way to search than this, because we can show more shoes, kind of like this one. So we have multiple shoes right here. I like how that looks like, and perhaps a favorite button. I think it will work quite fine in this case. So as I said, now that we explored all of that, maybe we can move on to actually start creating our wireframes. So what I'm done right here is I attached a camera to the top. So we have this top view angle. Let me move my microphone just a little bit. Let me move my mouse just so that you guys can see it a little bit better. All right, so it's in focus. And what I've done right here is I used this black dot paper. If you want to know more about this black dot paper, you can head on over to my YouTube channel, because I recently did a video all about this black dot paper and all about these jelly roll pens, which I think are amazing. Do you need something like this? Definitely not, but as you can see, it does look quite cool, and it's going to help you draw straight lines if you don't want to use a ruler like this. And it can allow you to form your layouts much better than with a single piece of white printing paper, for example. So once again, if you don't have this, you can follow along at home with any kind of piece of paper you have, but I like to use these ones because they do make the wireframes look just a little bit more professional. And because we are creating these wireframes for phones, it's much simpler to show them like this, because I can simply draw outlines of phones. Then if you want to create a website, you can create a website here, and I've done it already many times before, but you're going to need multiple pieces of paper like this. So let's get started. And what I'm going to do is perhaps jump in here and there between my dribble, exploration, and these wireframes. So what I have right here is I have number 10, which is quite thick lines. I have number 8, which is in the middle, and I have number 5. So in order for you guys to see, I'm going to use perhaps number 8 and number 5. I'm going to leave number 10 right here on the side. And what I'm going to do to get started is actually I'm going to start with this one, which is going to be our exploration screen. So I'm going to start by creating a navigation icon, for example, something like this. Let's see, can you see that? Let me actually use number 8 and number 10 for this presentation, just so that you guys can see it a little bit better when I'm drawing these. And in case you're wondering if you can scan this, yes, you can. I already tried it. And if you want to print something on these papers, make sure to follow these structures and these guidelines, because it's going to possibly go out of your grid. So make sure to follow them, or if you can, make sure to visit the website where you actually got these. And then when you start printing, on them. So when you start putting templates on them, for example, then make sure to follow these up so they are perfectly lined together. So as I said, let's get started. So let me quickly check. This is number 8. So as I said, I want to create a top navigation right here. So menu icon, and I'm going to simply write in shoes right here, which is going to be for our logo. And what I'm going to do right here is put in an icon, for example, for our bag. So let's see, something like this maybe. So it doesn't have to be perfect or anything. And let's say number 3, so 3 items in our bag, something like that. Then what I'm going to do below that is, let me actually use my ruler for this one. So for example, let's leave one on each side. That's why these dots are great. So something like this. And what this is going to be is our search bar. So I'm going to put a search icon right here. And what I'm going to write in is search for a model, for example. Search for a shoe. For example, you can write in search for a model, search for a shoe, but the whole point here is to guide your viewers and your users to do an action or to complete an action. So what I'm going to do right here, because I have all of these dots, let me check. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So what I can do is perhaps do 9. Let me check. Like that. Oops, I missed one. So like this, just without this one. So I'm going to leave that as a space. Something like this. And I'm going to leave this one as a space, as I said. And I'm going to simply pull all of these lines down like so. So this is not going to be perfect, obviously, because I'm trying to do this live, but you get the whole point of these. I'm leaving a space right here because that space is going to continue down below. So what I'm going to do next is create another one. So I'm going to use a ruler for this one. So like this and like this. It's not going to be lined perfectly, but who cares? So let's see, like this. And let's use a ruler for that one actually, like this. What's recommended about these jelly roll pens is to actually leave them set for a little bit. But once again, because I'm trying to do this live, I'm going to do this as fast as possible. And perhaps I can show you later the original one I created, just so you guys can see how it can look like when you're not rushing, when you give it a bit of space to set. Let me know in the comments where you guys are from, where you guys are watching this from, and do you enjoy content like this? So perhaps something like this, and maybe I can leave a bit of space down below for our navigation, or I can show additional images down below. So perhaps right here, just to show the user that they can scroll down a little bit if they want to. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to include a favorite icon on the top right. So just something like this. I'm going to write in img, so short for image, img. And right here, I'm going to write in name and price, name and price. So name and price of our product. Of course, we can show additional colors. We can show all of those things that you saw right here on Dribbble. But as I said, I'm just going to keep things nice and simple for now. So I'm going to go ahead and put stars right here. I'm going to rush in a little bit. So name right here, price, or you can leave a different brand category or something like that. You can include all sorts of different details, but paper wireframes are there just to explore all these possible layouts and then later move on to final version once you are ready in your design. So image, I'm going to put in name, price, name and price, star right here for favorites. And you can just imagine that you can tap this favorite icon. It can take you to favorite screen, and then you can browse all of your favorites there once you've done it. So what we can do at this point is we can give ourselves some notes, but I'm actually going to do that at the end. But I just want to show you why I have all of this empty screen so my students from my courses know. And alexondesign.co if you want to check those courses, and I also have a membership, so alexondesign.co membership, so you can check there for all of our products, all of our courses, or all of our practice files from my YouTube videos are inside of that membership. So if you're interested, make sure to check it out. And as I said, in all of my courses, what I like to do is to leave this free space around, because I can then write down what I want. So in this case, for example, I want to write in menu like that. And here, for example, bag, ICN for icon, search. And then I can go down a bit later and write all of these other ones. But for now, I think this looks quite good. So you can see why these are used, and you can see that it does look a bit different than if you try to draw this on a regular piece of printing white paper. But I think it's great, and you can continue using your printing paper. It's completely fine, but as I said, I like to use these. Now let's go to this screen, and what I'm going to do is simply position my ruler roughly around here, just so I can know where I am. And right here, I'm going to position an back arrow, something like this, like so, because users can tap to go back to this screen, because the whole point of this screen is to enlarge a product from this screen. So right here, I'm going to write in shoes again, and perhaps they can tap on a logo like on a website to go back to the home screen or something like that. And we're still going to have this bag icon, so like this, for example, something like that. It's a bit wider than on this previous screen, but that's fine. You guys get the point. So this is our bag icon. And now below that, what I want to do is I want to draw a nice big image like this. And I want to put it down to somewhere right here, maybe. Something like this. Now this image is of course the image of a shoe, and what we can do at this point is we can put a pagination below that, but before that I have to draw in a shoe. And please excuse me, I'm not really good at drawing, but I'm going to try it anyway. So something like this, for example. They're just trying to get that basic angle of a shoe so people can understand what it is, basically. Something like this and something like this, then on the other side like that, and here I'm going to put it down below like so, and include these holes for shoelaces, for example. That's basically it, and put on a sole right below, something like that. But you guys get the point. This is our basic shoe. This is the best I can get in such a short time, but you get it. So they will select, for example, this one. It's this shoe, and it's just going to enlarge. So while I'm creating these paper wireframes, because I have many years of experience, I'm already thinking in my head how the animations might look like. So when they tap on any one of these, so for example this one or this one or this one, as you can see, some animations are appearing right here, but none of these animations really matter if you cannot recreate them in your head. So browse all of these examples that you see on Dribbble, on Behance, whatever, and hi Behance audience if you're watching, and make sure to try to think up front what you're going to create later once you have the finished result. So in my case, what I'm going to do when they tap right here, it's going to expand. So maybe here we can show that favorite icon that we have right here. So perhaps they tapped here, it enlarged, we have the favorite, and then below that what we can do is we can create pagination. Let's see, 6. I think it's good enough. Let me take the number 10 to fill it in. So something like this, I think it's going to work just fine. And what I'm going to do next is write in color right here below. So what we can do is show 4 of them right here, because perhaps we have 4 different colors. And let's see how many of these we have. So let me count correctly now. So we have 18 of them. So let's see what we can do right here. Let me actually count those in, because you can always use your calculator if you're bad at math like me. So let's see, 18 divided by 4 is 4.5. So what I can do is put them at 4 width and then simply make sure to leave enough space. So this is 3, this is 4, something like this. So let's go on each side, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. And now let's see what we have. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So maybe we can go like this, 4, leave 1 right here, and position 4 right here. It doesn't matter, obviously, because later on in XD you're going to create a grid anyways, and you're going to show this. But for now, we are just going to position it like this. Hey Caprios, thank you for watching. I'm glad you are enjoying the content, and thanks for following along. So once again, we have the color. I'm going to put it down 4 like this. I'm going to do this for all of them. Once again, quite messy, but at the end, I'm going to show you how this can look like if you actually have a bit more time and you are a bit more thoughtful about all of these that you are creating. So once again, my epic drawing skills are going to be used right here. So I'm going to draw a silhouette of a shoe on the side, or at least try to do so, because I'm terrible at drawing. But you guys get the picture. They can simply select the shoe and the color of a shoe from right here. So once they tap, then I'm going to use this one, and let's say that they tapped on this number 2, for example. It's going to be selected, perhaps a different color, and we can write that down straight away. So selected, and this is going to be pagination. So they can of course swipe left and right and choose all of these different shoes. And what we're going to do is, in design, we're going to create all kinds of different angles to show how this shoe might look like. And right here we can have different colors to present how it looks like in different colors. So what I'm going to do next is draw write a size right here. So I'm going to leave a bit of space, and let's see, maybe we can go with 3 this time. So 3, 3, 3, like this, like this. All right, I'm going to put them 3 down all the way, and let me position my ruler like this. So you can see why the ruler is useful here. Just quickly outline and simply draw these longer lines in. So size, what I'm going to do is use European sizes. I know you US and UK viewers use different sizes, but in this case, I'm going to use something like, I don't know, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, and 46, for example, let's say. So after we've done that, what I need right here is all of that additional information. So if we switch back to my Behance, what I mean by that is, if we scroll a bit more down, I think I saw it somewhere. I think it's this one. Not yet. Let me explore a little bit more. So basically what I want is all of that additional information for charges, for shipping, for stuff like that. So I cannot find that, because I want to show how much the shipping is straight away, so they don't have to go inside of their cart because the app already knows based on their location how much the shipping would be for this shoe. So it's presenting it right away. Let's see. I cannot see that option anywhere. So we're still just going to create it inside. So let's go back to here. What I want to do is write total, for example. So let's go here, total. I'm going to write in shipping. And I'm going to write in shoe, like that. So let's say that the shoe is, I don't know, $110. Shipping is, let's say, 14 bucks. And total is 124. So total is these two combined. Obviously you can include different taxes, for example, taxes about import into the EU, let's say, or into the US, or imports from China, or whatever you are doing. Then you can write all of these additional things right here. And in XD there is an awesome option that we can make this part scrollable, so just this part right here, and users can then scroll with their thumb just that particular part. You can do that in website and you can do that in app design. So I think that's a great addition if you want to do something like that. So for now we're going to leave it like so. And finally, what I want to do below that is include a button. So let's go with something like this, for example. So one from the side, 1, 2, 3, let's go with 4 on this case, just so we can fill in a bit more space. Obviously, as I said, we're going to space this out more evenly, but for now I'm going to leave a button here, and I'm going to use that same icon that we created at the top. So like this, but without a number, like so, like that, and say add to cart, like that. And I want to position an arrow and say animation, because I want to animate this later. Then let's say these are sizes, and let's select our size. For example, it can be 44, something like that. Let's write in sizes on the side. And by the way, I'm writing all of these on the side because sometimes you want to show these to your clients, developers, teammates, and not everybody is going to understand what you're thinking about. That's why I'm leaving all of this space, all of these arrows, because this is still just a planning process. This is still just getting ideas from my head down to the piece of paper. And then later on, once I got some let's say comments from my clients, teammates, developers, then we can move on with the full process in Adobe Xd. So for now, if I remove myself from screen, what we can include right here is a grid. So I'm going to leave spacers like this, say grid, like so. And I can put all of these basic things. So favorite, because this doesn't really resembles a star all that well. Image, and we can say product name, and finally this can be the price, like so. And finally, what I want to write right here below is component states, like this. And why this is important is just because when you're creating something like this, especially if it's repeating like it is in this case, you want to make it a component so that it takes you less time to create and that it takes you less time to swap these elements around. Especially, for example, if the client wants to remove this image, you can simply swap it with another image and simply update the prototype in XD rather than simply deleting it, copying, pasting, and do stuff like that. Now, what you can do is you can use repeat grids, but what I also like to do in XD is use those paddings, use those margins, and I like to use stacks, which is my favorite option in XD so far. So I like to use stacks. We're going to use stacks, and once again this planning thing comes around because when I'm researching these designs, as I mentioned, and when I'm creating wireframes like these, there is always that planning in my head how I'm going to create these. So for this layout, I'm thinking I can create this box with the star for the rating, with the image placeholder, with the name and with the price, and then I can create a component. I can put it inside of a stack, I can duplicate that stack, and then I can reorganize them around in different ways. So I like to work like that. I like to do all of these things and plan up front. And in terms of this, what we can do is create this entire section as a component. So when user taps this color, this shoe is going to update in real time, for example, or this color, or this color, this color, and then we can swipe to show all of the different states of a component. So as I said, I'm thinking about all of these things up front. Same thing can be applied with these stars, but you can, for example, use heart icons, and then you can create just one heart icon right here on this one, and then when users tap it, it's going to update wherever you put that heart icon. So here, 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 it doesn't matter. And finally, for this one, what I want to do is include a total. So something like this. Hey Jason, you cannot erase these. So you can smudge them like I did right here, but you cannot erase them. That's one bad thing about them, because this is ink basically and it's not a pencil, so you cannot erase them. If you want to erase them and you do your wireframes like that, then I would suggest that you stick with just a printing piece of paper, eraser and a pencil. That's much better for you. But once you get started with these, once you explore a few layouts here and there, you're going to understand much better, create much better, and then you're not going to care too much about erasing stuff. Because if I don't like something right here, I can always write in, for example, X, so this is not an option, or use this one or whatever, and then later on move them into XD and still create that final layout in XD anyways. So basically that's it for this paper wireframe. Quite a quick live stream. Let me do logo right here just so everybody knows what this is. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to animate this button later in XD in one of the final videos of this series. So once again, I'm going to try to put these videos every single Monday on my YouTube channel. And let me put the caption on the screen so you can see it right here. So Alex on Design on YouTube, make sure to check it out. And I'm going to do in the next video, I'm going to put this in XD and then simply create an overall structure, perhaps import some of these icons, position them around, and then a video after that we're actually going to design, prepare all of these components and possibly animate them. And if we don't have time to animate them in that live stream, then we can move that over to the next live stream. So basically you can expect 3 or 4 live streams about this app. And of course I'm going to leave all of the live streams for on Behance and on YouTube, so you can always watch them later if you want to follow along if you don't have enough time to watch them live and stuff like that. But I always encourage you to watch these live streams live, because you can always ask questions. Cinema Clips, thanks for watching. So you can always ask questions if you want to. That's basically it. I just want to show you for the end how these can look like once you pay a bit of attention to them. So you can see much straighter lines, much better spacing right here, much better writing. So that's how it can look like once you pay attention, or if you're rushing like me. But basically there is not too much difference about these two. So that's about it for this live stream. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. It's not really all that special or important. I just want to show you how my process looks like. Of course, inside of a real project, I have a research that needs to be completed. After the research, we are doing some, for example, flowcharts or stuff like that. And then after flowcharts, we are actually moving to wireframes like these. I would always recommend you guys to start with paper wireframes, because you can always erase these. As Jason said, you can throw them away, you can quickly scribble something on the piece of paper. Once again, you don't need anything fancy like this. You can always use a white piece of printing paper. I like to use these because they look much fancier for YouTube, for live streams and stuff like that. And of course, when you send these to your clients, they are blown away by how they look like. So of course there is an element to that. After this, I always like to import them in XD, because I can always show them in XD to my teammates, clients, stuff like that, and then we can move on forward with the actual design. So let me check the chat once again. All looks fine. So that's basically it. We are live for 37 minutes. I try to do this as quickly as possible because there is not much to it here. There are just 2 screens, so I don't want to waste too much of your guys' time. So once again, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube. Produced made by you or you got it from somewhere else. So if you mean by these product images, I got them from somewhere else. I will get them from Envato Elements in 3D because I want to show you guys the 3D functionality and how you can use it in your design. But generally you can take these, but I have an equipment right here in my studio which is about 10k worth, which not every designer out there can afford. So I have these massive lights. You can head on over to my YouTube channel and go to the community tab to check. Not everybody has that expensive equipment. You can also hire a photographer to take these shots, but once again, in the time we are living in with COVID and stuff like that, you cannot really travel all that much these days. So it's always best if you can use these images, especially for placeholders, because there is a gap between actually design these and for them to go live of couple of months. So in those couple of months, your client can take the shots, they can hire a photographer and stuff like that. But for our case, we are going to use 3D images from Envato Elements. So thank you for asking those questions. Thank you guys for watching, and that's basically it. Catch again live next Monday, same time, same place, so we can put these into Adobe Xd and then the real fun can begin. So once again, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.